Awesome! You guys have mastered sexual transmutation. You've gone through so much of this. We are so close, and that is the most exciting part, because now it's like we've been building this little box with each other, and we've been stuffing it full of amazing principles, amazing lessons, amazing stories, everything you need to succeed. And now what we're doing at these last segment is to take it, get a nice golden bow, wrap it around the box, and tie it up to make it all pretty. And that's why I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about the subconscious mind, the connecting link in the 11th step to riches. It's a field of consciousness in which every impulsive thought that ever comes across your five senses is instantly classified, instantly recorded, and can be recalled or withdrawn as letters may be taken from a filing cabinet. This is the basis of human brain, the basis of knowledge. We've been elaborating on it, we've been talking about it, we've been learning about the power of it throughout this entire training. It's this yellow part right here where you have just a small but steadfast quality mental state. It receives every impression, every thought, every sense of nature you come across, whether voluntarily or not. And your goal, using the secret formula, right? The secret formula is to voluntarily implement your own desires and your own drive. Desires, goals, drive into this subconscious. So the subconscious can think and create solutions, and those solutions will come out of the subconscious, come into your life, and turn into physical results. And that's the power, right? And we've been establishing this. It's your ability to translate your desire into its physical or monetary equivalent using money consciousness, right? Consciousness. That's cool. Subconscious mix those dominating desires with emotions such as faith, and you're going to get those results. Remember though, it is super important. You have to mix emotions into the subconscious, into your desires. Desire with emotions. If you can desire with emotions, that's going to be the impact. The biggest goals need to be instilled and mixed with emotions in the subconscious. Give happiness, give joy, give positivity outlined in your goals. And once you have that down, all of a sudden these goals turn into realities much faster than any non-emotionalized thoughts. So that's the power. Got to make sure, mix it together, and that's going to create this little bow on top. Is tied together with the strings of emotions, which holds everything together. Super cool stuff. Sound great? Awesome. So here's the deal. You guys know this stuff. The subconscious mind works day and night. It is your powerhouse. It will solve all of your problems in your sleep. It's insane. This is the power of total creativity, because the subconscious mind acts as your link, creativity, between reality and the infinite intelligence. And it can draw on the power and transmute it, desires, into their physical equivalent by making use of the most practical media and plans possible as given by the infinite intelligence. To further see the power of this, just go back and you guys know this is basically the principle of like autosuggestion, right? It all comes from you implanting desires into your subconscious mind voluntarily. And as soon as you can do that, all of a sudden these thoughts, they come together. You put them in your head, and your head will connect to this infinite intelligence and figure out exactly how to do it. Take it over here, turn it into a reality in your mind. If you turn something into a reality in your mind, it turns into a reality in your life. Super powerful stuff. So, Hill talks a little bit more here about the link between the mind and the infinite intelligence, and how the subconscious is the sort of intermediary between the two, and it contains the secret process by which mental impulses are modified and changed into their spiritual equivalent. We're going to look a little bit more at this process and the change in state later through a really great example. But the point is that it basically, it turns the unknown, which would be known, the subconscious and the infinite intelligence, it turns it into reality, right? Cool. It's modified and changed in the spiritual equivalent. It alone is the medium through which prayer may be transmitted to the source capable of answering prayer. So this is like the power of meditation, right? So you have meditation. Meditation activates the subconscious, and it connects the infinite intelligence to you. So that direct link is enabled by the subconscious. And obviously through meditation and reflection. Possibilities of creative effort connected with the subconscious mind are stupendous and imponderable. They inspire one with awe. Remember, the infinite intelligence has everything. This is the dream. So if you can become connected to the infinite intelligence and translate this dream, everything you could ever want is right here. You can turn it all into reality. It's all possible. It's right there. Bam. So powerful. You got to make sure, though, when you're meditating, when you're connecting through your subconscious to the infinite intelligence, you cannot approach the infinite intelligence with negative emotions. You cannot use negativity. Now, to make that into a positive statement, what I'm going to do is erase it, and I'm going to say, must be positive with the infinite intelligence. And obviously the subconscious by extension. When you're positive, all of a sudden, you're creating the constructive plans that you want in your life. Because the infinite intelligence will give whatever you feed. The subconscious will take in negative emotions if that's what you feed it. And if you feed, if you feed a dog a bunch of really, really low quality food, it'll probably maybe throw up, right? Versus feeding it great food, it'll probably be a-okay. So what you feed your subconscious through your actions, and more specifically through your emotions and the positivity of those emotions, is going to directly determine what the infinite intelligence shows to you and how your knowledge accumulates. Because if you feed negativity, negativity will taint all of the plans inside. And if it taints the plans and you get those tainted plans, then you'll have bad plans with negativity, therefore not as effective, right? So you want to feed it great emotions. You want to make it amazingly positive, and that positivity is going to translate into great plans, take immediate action in your life, and achieve that overarching long-term goal. That's the power. That's the growth. Once you have accepted as a reality the existence of the subconscious mind and understand its possibilities as a medium for transmuting your desires into physical or monetary equivalent, you will comprehend the full significance of the secret formula. Because the secret formula, all you're doing over and over is repeating and repeating and repeating that goal statement, that future success statement. You've been admonished to make your desires clear. You put your desires into writing, and now have combined those desires with faith of complete and total confirmation of future reality. And by adding that persistence and carrying out that statement, reading it twice a day, all of a sudden, 13 principles we've looked at throughout this book, they're all going to be connected. You're going to use all of them to reach and influence the subconscious mind over a period of time by following that secret formula. You will master faith. You'll develop habit. All it takes is time. Just be patient, be persistent. The secret formula is the key to this positivity. It is the key to telling your mind exactly what you desire. Remember, your secret formula, first sentence is I desire. That's the power here, is you're telling your mind exactly what you want. And when the subconscious and the infinite intelligence knows and has a definite plan, a definite goal, and a definite timeline to get to its monetary amount, it's going to create the necessary ways to freaking do it. Because it is infinite in intelligence. It can do anything. You can ask for any price. And you will get there using the secret formula. So powerful. So powerful. That makes sense? Is that awesome? All right, cool. Now, Hill talks next about how a ton of the statements in this chapter are just reaffirming those positive beliefs, those positive emotions that we'll get to in just a moment, that we've talked about throughout, and avoiding fear and poverty. Because negative thoughts will serve to stimulate your subconscious mind, right? If you don't have this good stuff coming in, then your mind is gonna, if you don't have that, right? If that goes away, and all you have is this mind right here, subconscious, this infinite intelligence, and you don't have your desires coming in, you don't have your long-term goals, you're like 98% of people on this planet. What do you think is going to fill up your mind right here? News, media, maybe family. Now, is this junk going to get you massive success in your life? No. Massive success comes from overarching long-term goals. And if you don't have those as an influence on your mind, then you will not grow. You will not get to a massive goal. And if you don't have a massive goal, if you don't have a definite desire, secret to wealth is a definite desire. Secret to wealth is a definite plan. The secret to wealth is persistence, faith, everything we've talked about, the positive emotions we're going to get to in just a moment. So you need to feed your mind the right things, just like you feed your body the right things to be fit. You wouldn't eat 50 Twinkies a day and expect to have six-pack abs. You wouldn't listen to total trash, garbage media every day and expect to be uber wealthy. You listening to this course, listening to this training, these modules, that's feeding your brain with amazing content. But maybe you've watched some evil news show this morning. I don't know, they're usually like terrible news. And you're focusing maybe on a bunch of people just got shot and killed. Which one's going to have more influence over you? Which one's going to have a bigger change on your state of being? It all comes down to what you feed yourself, what you auto-suggest. If all you watch, I'll give you a great example. I used to be super hard into motorcycles. And I used to think I was going to grow up, get a motorcycle. It's going to be the most amazing thing in the world. Everyone's going to have a motorcycle. It's going to be the coolest thing ever. Now, obviously, motorcycles are pretty freaking dangerous. And I found every single way to convince myself that they weren't dangerous. I looked at, like, all of these statements from North Carolina, right? Saying how vehicle safety is, motorcycles are only this much more dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And, all these people that are saying, everything's safe, everything's awesome, don't worry about it. You should definitely get a motorcycle. Because they're selling motorcycles and they're, whatever. So I surrounded myself with a ton of people digitally that were super big into motorcycles. And I would go on like YouTube and all I would watch is just people that are riding motorcycles, right? This was a long time ago, but I still remember it pretty well. Motorcycles, all right? Just everything I surrounded myself with. And so I started working and trying to create plans to get a motorcycle. One of my first plans at like 14 years old was, I'm gonna have a motorcycle fund. And instead of getting Christmas gifts, everyone can just contribute to the motorcycle fund. And that plan didn't go over very well because no one wanted me to have a motorcycle for a good reason, right? And then I would just focus and plan and plot on like all of the, protective gear. I would get protective motorcycle jackets, stuff like that. All these things that would make it safer, right? But in reality, I mean, if you get hit by a truck, like, you're probably not gonna live. But with cars, you can sort of like get hit by a truck and still live, which is pretty freaking cool. So I was super pumped. Like, my entire world was motorcycles. And so because of that, I started to create that physical equivalent in my life. And I started to focus and surround myself with people in motorcycles. I started meeting more people that were riding motorcycles than ever before. Why? That's what I focused on. That's what I fed my subconscious. And what you feed your subconscious will turn into reality. So if I kept reading about motorcycles, that would turn into my reality. Thankfully, I couldn't actually get a license or anything at the time. And I also didn't have, well, I guess I could have bought a motorcycle. But I was pretty cheap, and I'm still pretty cheap. At least conservative with like wasting money on liabilities, right? I don't waste a lot of money on crap. I don't, usually the goal, right? And this is like a tangent, but like if you can buy assets and those assets accrue so much value that like the dividends that they pay can buy you whatever you want, like that's financial freedom. That's success. That's growth. And so that's usually what I try to do, right? Is I try to make money with my money as an investor and then use the profits to cover, anything I want to buy, right? So anyway, you might be thinking, well, what happened? Because I'm not riding motorcycles today. But the point is, I was so close to it, and it was all because I surrounded myself with this media, which is crazy. But what happened was the dream kind of faded away over time, and I started to get more into personal finance, get more into investing, getting fit, growth, Subway, stuff like that. My Little Pony, for sure, friendship development. But it all really, really changed when I got this little thing on my face. So I fell off my bike, right? Fell off my bike and hit my head really hard. Freaking sucked. And I didn't have a helmet on, which was stupid. It was a mistake. It was a bad mistake. Won't make it again. I was going to school, right? I was going to school, and I was going down this bike path, and there was this golf course over here. And on this golf course, there was this big net. And this net was held onto like posts, right? It was on fences. But what was really weird is like the net came off of the posts, and it was, the net went the whole way down. Net comes off the post and flies into the middle of the bike path. And I'm here, on the bike, and I'm going on the bike path, woohoo, right? And this thing flies out in front of me. And so the pedal on the bike snags the net, and then the bike sort of like falls over here, and I flop over on the ground over here. It was pretty freaking crazy. So that's how I fell on my face and freaking blew up and really hurt. Then I realized that like if I did that on the road on a motorcycle, like I could have got run over. And getting run over like kills you, which is like not good. And it was in that moment that all the statistics and all the facts and all the crap I had been reading about motorcycles, about how they were dangerous, turned into a reality, right? This mental image manifested itself in me, busting my head open. So, that's really what kind of made me realize that, like, whoa, maybe, like, this is really dangerous, right? So I was on a bike. What's the difference between that and motorcycle? Very close, right? Going super fast, super fast. So this idea that, like, there's this mental image versus reality. And what you surround your mind with will turn into reality. And that's, exactly what happened. So, I was so close, right? I was like, if I had the money and I was older, I probably would have bought a motorcycle. And I don't know, maybe I would have like gotten in a big accident. Maybe I wouldn't have. A lot of people ride motorcycles, they're totally safe, which is cool. But it's a risk, and it's dangerous. And it's like, you got to choose your battles, gotta choose your battles. So yeah, that was my giant motorcycle shift in mindset. And it all came about because of what I surrounded my mind with. Remember, thoughts are the most powerful form of vibrations. And when you transmute your desires into their physical equivalent, you gotta use the most practical media possible. And the impact can be massive. So this was an example where I had a negative influence in my life. Imagine if you took this but you made it a positive influence. Imagine if instead of motorcycles, the influence of yours was to feed 10 million kids a meal, you know? Like, how would that change your life? How would that change the impact, the legacy you have? If instead of having this negative creation, this negative manifestation, you created an insanely positive one that had an impact on millions and millions of people. That's the power. It's your choice. Remember, you get what you ask for. You get what you ask for. The way you ask for it is the way that you act. Your actions lead to your thoughts, lead to your desires, lead to your actions. My desire to create real savings and retirements for masses of people came from my actions as I spent years of my life learning about and investing in financial markets. That all stemmed from what I surrounded myself with. I surrounded myself with stuff like Investopedia, you know, these websites where all they talk about is investments. I didn't have many people to surround myself with. People are more powerful than videos and text. You know, in person with a physical mastermind or digital mastermind through Skype or Zoom or something, that's your most powerful way to connect with people. And those people can influence you. What did I start to do? I started looking at YouTube, but instead of YouTube and motorcycles, I was looking at stock market stuff, right? I was changing my world, and that world, when I changed my mental world, it changed my physical world. And it allowed me to go and trade stocks and absolutely freaking crush it. That would never happen if I didn't change what I surrounded myself with. That's the power of connecting creative effort with the subconscious mind to inspire you with plenty of awe. Because the connecting link all is based on that infinite intelligence, which contains a secret process by which mental impulses are modified and changed into their spiritual equivalent. This is why prayer is so powerful. This is why meditation is so powerful. Because you're changing this into a source capable of answering your questions, answering your desires through the infinite intelligence and the amazing insights and influences that come from that. And we'll look more at a physical example of that in just a moment. Probably the next module, one of the next modules. The point with it is to totally and completely believe in the subconscious and the power of feeling positivity over littleness or inferiority, so that you have control over the knowledge you bring in your life. You have happiness in your mind. You have a medium of communication between the thinking mind and the infinite intelligence. And you use it constantly as a form of power for transforming your desires into their physical or monetary equivalent. This is the secret formula. So please, please, please understand why you've repeatedly admonished to make your decisions clear and put them in writing, and use the necessary persistence to carry them out with faith and total conviction to radically change your life. And why you're now taking this and applying it and scaling it up through sex transmutation, through desirability, through mental stimuli, through increased vibrations that draw you away from fear and poverty. All these statements are for the benefit of your subconscious mind. Everything bears repeating, because your mind functions on its own, and it will happen over and over and over and over again until you can get to the point where you achieve your overarching long-term goal. That's why you're using habit to do this over and over again. That's why you're under the directions to always keep with it, master your faith, and absolutely freaking crush it. So please, 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 Be persistent in quality actions. Be persistent in greatness. Be persistent in growth. Reach your subconscious. Touch that infinite intelligence to get exactly what you want and none of what you don't. And understand the precise desire you have for your future. This is the power you can engage to flow exclusively positive emotions into your life and allow you to achieve your impulses of positive desire. So please, please, please take this, freaking apply the heck out of it. Go out there and absolutely crush it. Thank you guys so much for watching this module. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to go trade stocks. We'll be right back. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Have an amazing day. See you soon. Thanks.